Hi there, my name's Sam Neffendorf, and this video is all about how I was able to heal my long-sightedness using meta-consciousness, German new medicine, and magic mushrooms. So I guide people with chronic health conditions to heal themselves by understanding the root cause of their symptoms and realizing the choices that they have to resolve them and also create a more aligned life. I've also hosted several plant medicine retreats where I've focused on the integration of the medicine journeys. And today, I'm really excited to share this healing story with you. Firstly, because I was able to heal my own eyes from a supposedly irreversible condition. And secondly, because I'm really excited about it because it shows how the knowledge from German new medicine about the root cause of symptoms can be really useful when you're trying to heal yourself using psychedelic plant medicines. Now, I just want to say that I'm not suggesting that you should take psychedelics of any kind. It's a really personal decision if you're going to do that. And I neither recommend or condemn anyone using them. So if you are interested, then do your own research and absolutely make your own mind up whether it's right for you. I'm also not going to make any medical claims or claim that these results can necessarily be repeated. I'm just sharing my experience. So with that in mind, here's my healing story. Now, I've always been really appreciative of having perfect vision throughout almost all of my life. But about a year ago, I noticed that I couldn't read labels on packaging when I was in a shop. And just through the natural conditioning that we've all believed, I put it down to getting old, that I was, that without really thinking about it, in spite of what I do, I just thought, oh, must be getting old. And I forgot about it for a while, but then about 6 months later, I was lying in bed trying to read a book and I realized that I couldn't even read it without stretching my arm right out in front of me. So I thought I've really got to do something about this and look into it. You know, like as with most of us, we tend not to look after our own stuff, first of all, a bit like a plumber with a leaking tap. So I actually did get round to looking into the metaconscious German new medicine themes for long-sightedness. If you've not heard of German new medicine before, very briefly, it's the awareness that all symptoms, whether physical or psychological, are intelligent biological adaptations by the body rather than the sign of something going wrong. And they can be traced back to specific traumatic events and trigger events and patterns in your life. And when you realize this, then you actually get the opportunity to not only resolve your symptoms, but what you learn from it can move you forward into a life that's more in alignment with who you are. Each body tissue, so each organ and each tissue within each organ, has a specific meaning. And actually, as it turns out, the eyes are pretty complex, and there's quite a lot of different tissues in the eyes. And there are 3 different tissues I found out that can be involved in the symptom of long-sightedness. The first one is what's known as the striated ciliary muscles. And these are the muscles that change the shape of the lens to enable you to see near and far. The biological conflict that's linked to these striated ciliary muscles is about seeing into the distance. For example, not being able to see what's in the distance, or not being allowed to see what's far away, or possibly not wanting to see what's in the distance. So that's one. And that one really resonated with me, in fact. The next is the actual lens itself. And this relates to what's known as a visual separation conflict. For example, having lost sight of somebody, lost sight of a loved one, someone who's moved away, left or died, or not being allowed to see someone close, your grandchild, lover, close friend, or like all of these things can also mean the opposite as well. So not wanting to see someone, So wanting them to get them out of your sight. And the third tissue is the retina, and the biological conflict that's linked to the retina relates to like a sort of fear of something hanging over you. It's called a fear in the neck conflict, but it's really a fear of something that can't be shaken off, or a thing that you think might be going to catch you up at some point. So something that you're worried about in life and dreading when it might happen to you. Now, as I mentioned, the one that really stuck with me when I did the research was the one about not being able to see in the distance, because I was really feeling at the time that I was spending too much time focused on what was happening in the future, and well, what we're going to do, how we're going to move through the times that we've all been in. So I was focused on the future rather than really enjoying the present moment and what I have in my life now as would be more healthy for me. And so that was the initial insight that I had. And then it just so happened that a few days later, my wife Star and I had a day planned where we were going to be taking psilocybin bohemia mushrooms that had been picked wild in the Czech forest. And we were really looking forward to taking this day just for ourselves. It was an opportunity to switch off from the world and just connect within, and also connect with each other. And we did this, and it was an absolutely incredible time. The mushrooms themselves were incredibly powerful, but really beautiful. I've been warned that they were, but even so, they really, really kicked in very strong and fast, especially for the amount that we took. So after this really strong start, which left me reeling for a bit with some initial anxiety, I really got into the groove of it all, and we had a beautiful connecting time together. Loads and loads of amazing deep insights, deep connection and intimacy with each other, and also even deep connection to essence of pure love at the source of everything. So really beautiful day. I'm not really going to go into a long detailed trip report on it, but I do want to focus on one particular part of it. And focus really is the word, because about slightly after the really intense aspect, about 4 hours or so into the trip, so over the peak but still well in it, I was sat with my eyes closed and watching what was going on, the closed eye visuals going on, and these started off very blurry, but then I heard like a voice in my head saying something along the lines of coming into focus now. And that was more of a thought of that. And then the visuals went really crystal sharp in my head and really clear. And the thought that came up was how, with our busy lives and all the other things that we have going on, we'd lost sight of each other. And this time together was a catalyst for our relationships, which was obviously a really important thing, which maybe we had put on the back burner a little bit, and really bringing it through this to become front and center, rather than it being sidelined by all the other valid and important parts of our life, and also some frivolous, less important stuff, probably. So this really beautiful day, connecting with Star, but also with myself, really brought me back into the present moment with this new focus on these important parts of my life. And what happened next was really amazing, and the purpose of what I'm talking about now. But I found that my eyesight had really greatly improved straight after the ceremony, or the time that we had together. Over the next few months, my eyesight was very clear initially after this, but then my eyesight did go a bit blurry and sometimes becoming slow to focus. And so I felt a little bit worried about that. I was a bit concerned about it. But then I realized that actually, when I looked into it again, this is actually a symptom of the lens in what's known as the restoration or healing phase. So after a conflict is resolved, you have this healing phase where the body carries out the process of healing, and this blurriness fits into that perfectly. And this is a few months ago that was happening. And in fact, the realization of this enabled me to complete that healing process, along with using some EFT tapping and other techniques to explore and release, some other elements of this. And I would say now that my vision is, it's about 90% better than where it was almost a year ago now, when I first noticed this the first time, when I was looking at the jar or can or whatever it was in the shop, and noticed the blurring was happening. So feeling way better about that. My eyesight's back to a really good standard again. I can read things up close, which just shows me that this has really, really worked for me. So obviously I'm really excited about this, and I'm aware that there's still some stuff possibly for me to work through, bringing myself more present, more connected to what's important, which would really enable, my eyesight to fully go to optimal, perhaps. So that's one process, and how meta consciousness and combined with plant medicine and also with EFT tapping and other techniques has been really powerful in my own personal healing. It's not actually the only healing process that I've been through this year, because I'm also in a really deep process relating to a combination of breathing issues and acid reflux. And that's something which is ongoing, but I've already had some really good benefits from the understandings of meta consciousness and German new medicine, along with a plant spirit medicine ceremony, this time with San Pedro, Wachuma. And I'm going to share more about that journey, and which is a deeper, more ongoing process, in more content in another video or blog. So just wanted to put that out there, and feel free to get in touch if you are someone who's endeavoring to heal yourself, whether with or without using plant medicines. I've had many clients with healing successes just through the meta-analysis and using techniques such as EFT, but also I'm very keen to support people that are using plant medicines with using meta-consciousness as part of their preparation, so that they can go to ceremonies setting intentions with some knowledge of what they're looking to heal and the meanings behind it. So if you do want to get in touch with me, then there's going to be a link somewhere around this video where you'll be able to book a free conscious discovery call with me. And I'm also going to share some other links around here where you can find out more about meta consciousness and how it can support you in your healing journey. So that's it from me now. Wishing you health, abundance, and freedom. That's Sam Neffendorf at EFT Now. Bye for now.